In every capacity, I run my house. There's no way I could date a 5. I'm just saying.
Baby, I know that no God that I worship has made a man that look like that.
This is why I look for a man like myself, a more traditional man. Like I said, I don't want my woman working full time. This is why I don't typically date career-driven women. I don't need a woman that's also out there trying to chase her dreams and go get all this money. It's not needed.
You have to understand, when a man has grown up in poverty his whole entire life and he is stuck in survival mode. These men, most of these men, a lot of these men are stuck in survival mode. They will never be able to truly love you. Because when you're stuck in survival mode, your only mindset is to get out of the struggle.
Hello fam, how are you all doing? We have a lot to talk about in this video. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe. Thank you so much for your support. Let's talk about money and the power that money brings in relationship. Let's talk about when men are the ones in charge because they have money, and also what happens when that dynamic shifts and a woman is not the one in charge and the man has no money. There's a lot to be discussed in this video. Make sure you watch it to the very end so you don't miss out.
In every capacity, I run my house. And I come home, the wife is like, hey, Lord, how was your day, Lord?
So you trying to tell me your wife say, hey, Lord, when you walk through the door?
And I don't mean Vice Lord.
Okay. All right.
So how do you, let me ask you, how do you receive your husband when he come home?
I say, hey, honey. Hey, sweetie. How was your day?
No.
You want something to eat?
Oh,
you ready for your meal?
Do you want something to eat? When I come home, she
because sometimes, well, how about this? Oh, okay, well, I present too, but sometimes you have to make sure that he's hungry because he probably would have picked up a sandwich on his way or before he got there. I'm just trying
he
to
already
check.
He already know from experience to pick up something before he come home.
Okay.
I'm gonna just say foundation is key. Foundation is key when you are talking about
communication is key too.
Yeah.
And it's clearly that I ain't had no communication with my husband before this podcast.
I hear the kids say
that's clear.
It's giving attitude.
No, it's giving fact, sir.
Okay. Well, ma'am,
Pastor Leviticus.
Let me say this.
Okay.
One thing you're going to do is reverence me and respect me.
So I'm not respecting you, Pastor?
Because of the mantle that I carry. Yeah.
Okay.
You can laugh now.
Okay.
Or you cry later.
He's already giving the outdated patriarchy vibes. Hey Lord, your lordship, how was your day? Seriously? Was he being serious? Are they running households or medieval kingdoms? I'm confused. It's wild how some people expect this kind of dynamic in modern relationship. Like, who even talks like that? Everything seems exaggerated to me. It's almost comical. I understand every relationship has got their own dynamics. Some people call their husbands daddy, not joking. Yeah, they do. Some people call them my lord, God, and different. I don't know, honestly. It sounds off to me. It does sound off to me. It's all about dominance and control. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section. A little more about him, a little more about Pastor Leviticus.
There's no way I could date a 5. I'm just saying.
Baby, I know that no God that I worship has made a man that look like that and equipped him with audacity and oxygen. I just know that ain't.
But I gotta have an 8 or above.
Oh,
I'm a high value.
I bet you all 12 hairs are sitting on his forehead. He didn't ask the woman what she bring to the table. Talking about you have to have an 8 or above. You high value. Sir, you are high risk for BV.
I had my looks assessed. I went to a consultant, well known before he passed. I went to him and I said, just lay it and tell me, sir, what is it? And he told me, he said, I'm going to be honest, you probably one of the better looking men that I've seen.
Baby, that consultant was Ray Charles. It had to be.
I was giving myself a low 12.
At this point, sir, any woman that messes with you deserves compensation. Y'all don't want me to stay saved. Not a low 12. And you are here looking like you breastfed pit bull puppies. I'm going to the store, y'all. I'm not doing this. Y'all want something?
I don't want to laugh and start crying. That man must be a comedian. He must be intentional with his content. I don't know. Sorry. Let's get serious. Let's get serious. I had to play the second video so we all can have a better understanding of the kind of person he is and the way he reasons up to an extent. The whole man to talk is a major red flag for me. If you're in a relationship and your man demands you to call him lordship or your highness and all that, that's too much. He's already making it clear that he's above you. He wants that control and he wants it to be an obvious one. And such dynamic is a breeding ground for a clear power imbalance in the relationship. Don't get me wrong, I understand respect is very important, but it's not about treating someone like royalty when they're not one. And if that man that is demanding such is not offering the same respect back, no, don't do that. It's just going to be a one-sided power play. In a relationship, you need partnership. It's not about hierarchy or who has the most authoritative name and all that. No, that's not what it's all about. It's about mutual respect and not some archaic respect me because of my status kind of a thing. It's like in his relationship, they are still stuck in the old school relationship kind of a thing. What do you think? What do you think about all this? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. The way he turned a simple conversation about food into a relationship issue, that was a classic manipulation to me. It's as if any form of autonomy or independence in a woman is an attack on his authority. His conversation was all about the patriarchal construct and power dynamic.
This is why, look, for a man like myself, a more traditional man, like I said, I don't want my woman working full time. This is why I don't typically date career-driven women, because typically those career-driven women do not want to do the things that she's talking about on a daily basis. We see it now where these women that are career-driven women call that a slave or a maid. That is not the type of attitude, because I got the financial part. That's what you're saying I have to do. You're not touching no bills. You're not even paying the tip. Well, I don't want to come home and cook nothing. I don't care if you are working, because you don't have to work. You don't have to. You want to work. That's different. So I don't want to come home and cook nothing. I don't want to come home and clean nothing. If you're expecting me to do all of the financial load, which is fine and I'm cool with it, I don't need a woman that's also out there trying to chase her dreams and go get all this money. It's not needed. I need you to be more of a homemaker. So therefore, when it comes to career-driven women that want to chase the bag, I personally know that they wouldn't be a good fit for me, so I leave them alone.
I think it's great that you acknowledge that wouldn't be a good fit for you, but I also think that it's a little bit unfair to say, oh, you know what, she, and she, they're all career women, so they're automatically disqualified.
Absolutely.
I didn't say automatically.
Well, no, because you're not even going for a career-driven woman. You're not even getting to know them enough to determine if they're career-driven or if they are survival-driven, or if they're career-driven or if they're lifestyle-driven. And you might be able to come in and provide that survivorship. You might be able to come in and provide that lifestyle, and they will take a seat.
Most times they're too masculine and I don't want to deal with it.
Most
times they're too masculine and I don't deal with it. But this is the reason. Hold on.
The man's own stance is rigid. He's basically saying he wants a woman to fit into his own narrow idea of what he thinks a woman is supposed to be, what a woman's role is supposed to be. From his explanation, it seems like he views career-driven women as threats to his authority, or in his words, they are masculine. When a man says a woman is masculine, what does that mean? I can't control her. Don't forget, men are all about control. Having finances gives them the power to control. It's the selfishness in his statement for me, when he said, I don't want a woman who chases dreams or walks outside home. So you want her not to have a dream, but you want to have your own dream. He's so selfish, so self-centered. He just wants to kill a woman's dream, all in the name of marriage. I hope we can see how some men reason. It's clear. It's very obvious. To me, it basically sounds like he's looking for a maid, a free maid that he's not going to spend much money on. I've got the money, so go to the house, clean, do the house chores for me, and lie in bed and wait for me to come service you. That's just the way it sounded to me. So you want to go out there and have your money, and you don't want that woman to have money so you can control her and use her as a tool the way you like. He basically just wants a woman that would live within a certain boundary he has, boundary that benefits his ego, rather than him considering her desires and aspiration as an equal partner. It's not in any man's position to decide if a woman should pursue her career or not. As an individual, you have that power to make that decision. It's not in any man's position to tell you whether you should go to school or not. It is your personal decision to make. When a man says he wants a traditional woman, it's often a code for I want a woman I can control. Especially when they talk about being the sole provider, it's all about maintaining dominance for them. They want to always be in charge and in control of that woman. Once a woman gains financial freedom and independence, it becomes hard for men to control that woman or such a woman. And men don't want that because they are all about control. Money gives them power. They understand that. They've been providers for a very long time and they understand the power that comes with money. That's why you would always have modern men speak against successful women. You would always have modern men speak against modern women, against independent women, because they understand that those women have access to money and money comes with power. What they want is that power, money and power, so they can control. But when they don't have it, they don't want women that have it. Such men want to keep women in a box where they depend on them for everything. They want to cripple them financially, disable them financially. It's classic manipulation masked as tradition. Ladies, money gives power, money gives voice. The focus should be on having your own money and not depending on a man to feed you 100%.
The biggest financial decision you are ever going to make in your life is not what you're going to invest in, it's who you decide to marry. Because your partner, they will either propel you forward in life or they will hold you back. And you deserve a partner who is your biggest cheerleader, not your biggest.
I got into a relationship with my husband. I've said it many times. He was broke. Everything I had did not look like it. But I believed in him. He said he would take me around the world. I didn't see war. How much more round? I'm trying to explain what faith is. I stayed believing in him. In the physical greatness I could not see. And I was there focused. Until I see, praying, fixing my eyes on the prophecy, praying, staying there until I see, chewing the word, chewing the prophecy, until I see. And is it manifesting today? Because I fixed my gaze, I focused. Faith is focused. I focused. Is it taking me around the world today? Oh yes. But it wasn't like this 11 years ago. It's focus.
So if you are a woman, a single woman who is looking to get married to a man, and all that he has going for him is a word of prophecy, please tell that man to leave you alone and you to leave him alone. Tell him to come back when that prophecy has been fulfilled. See, the thing is, if you don't do that and you hold on to this word of prophecy and you are there focusing, I'm telling you, 10, 11, 12 years into that marriage, not only, I don't even know how to say this without upsetting some people. All I'm just going to say is that if you don't want to end up in a position where you are stuck, and where you are not only stuck, but it now becomes your job description to recruit other women into this position of being stuck. Like, it will now become your job description to infect other women with the kind of religious psychosis that got you into that position in the first place. If you don't want that for yourself, don't marry someone based on some word of prophecy. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Bye.
Religion is a tool they use in brainwashing people. How can you tell someone to be with a man based on prophecy? Who exactly gave you that prophecy? I'll get back to that. Let's talk about how the choice of who you've decided to marry or whoever you're marrying can make or mar you, including your finances. So it's important for you to go for someone that has something working for him. I'm not saying that person, that man needs to be very rich. No, that man should have a structure, should have his life working for him up to an extent. Don't go date a broke man. They come with problems, and I will discuss that in a moment. Like I already mentioned, money gives power. It comes with power. Men understand that. The first video clips I reacted to was about men having money and talking about they don't want women that have money so they can control those women. So men have this understanding that when you have money, you have power, and they love control. They are all about controlling women. So what then happens when the power changes, when there is change in power dynamic, when the woman is now the one with money? That's what this person was preaching. Oh, you don't have to run away from a broke man. If you have money, accept that broke man and struggle with him. That's what she's preaching. Don't do that. And I will explain why. Men have been groomed and conditioned to believe that they are supposed to control women. They are the first class citizen. They are supposed to be in charge. Most of them have this mindset. They're supposed to be the ones with the money, not women. Some men get upset when they see independent women, when they see successful women. They are angry, they are triggered, unprovoked. So to them, why? Why should a woman have all that money? She's not supposed to. There must be a man somewhere. A man is somewhere bankrolling her. A woman cannot be that successful financially because that is how they've been taught to think. So imagine being a successful woman and being in a relationship with a man that thinks that way, but he doesn't have money. In most case scenario, men come to those women to take their money, use them as ladder. Once they make it, they kick them out. They come to women that are successful. Broke men go to women that are successful with the mindset of using them to better their own life. They don't just go there with love. They go there with fake love, no real love, with their manipulative tactic, their strategy to manipulate that woman, use her to better their own life. And once they make it, they kick her off and go to a woman that will massage their ego and see them to be the men they already have in their imagination to be. Men have been told that money is what makes a man, so their focus is on making money. So they don't mind how they get it. They just want that money. They believe money brings respect, money brings women, money brings value. So they are ready to do anything to get that money. So when they get that money, they go look for women of their choice. And they've told them also that once they have money, they can have any woman of their choice. A lot of men think that way. You would often hear men tell other men, focus, make money, money go solve the problem. If you get money, if you get any woman, they say that a lot. So it's hard to find a man, a broke man, in a relationship with a successful woman, and that man genuinely cares about that woman. What is common out there is either the man is cheating, he's manipulating her, he's lying. You might think your man is different. Probably that is what's playing out for you right now. Give him more years to come and see what's going to happen. Don't get me wrong, there are exceptions to this, but I'm talking about what is common out there.
I would like to touch on something, a subject that I don't really think is talked about enough. But let's talk about the narcissism in Nigerian men and how the culture of Nigeria breeds that narcissism. Let's talk about how these Nigerian men never get to acknowledge their trauma, their pain, because they have to suck it up and be a man. And I think that you have to understand, when a man has grown up in poverty his whole entire life and he is stuck in survival mode, these men, most of these men, a lot of these men are stuck in survival mode. They will never be able to truly love you. Because when you're stuck in survival mode, your only mindset is to get out of the struggle. You are not seen as a human being to them. You are seen as a way out, as a means to a better life. And you might think that one would appreciate you taking them out of that struggle, but they don't. They feel like it's their right. They feel like they worked for it. They worked hard to manipulate you. They worked hard to gaslight you. They worked hard pretending to love you. And this is all culturally bred. Every time I have gone to my mother-in-law about my husband, she says, just forgive your husband. He loves you. Forgive your husband. Because that's what the women are taught. The women are taught to put up with this. To put up with the lying, to put up with the cheating, to put up with physical abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, financial abuse. So as much as I love my mother-in-law, she's a beautiful woman, I cannot take her advice.
When we talk about emotional manipulation in situations where a man is financially dependent on a woman, it's crucial to recognize how control works in such dynamics. Men who are in this relationship often use their financial independence as a tool for manipulation. They might not directly say it, but their actions speak volume. They might make the woman feel guilty for being successful, guilt trip her into thinking she owes him because he's struggling. They might even make her feel responsible for their lack of success. They may often play victim to gain sympathy, by so doing creating false sense of obligation on the woman's part. The manipulation can take subtle forms like belittling her achievements or making her feel like she's the cause of the relationship strain. The classic line might be, "You're too focused on your career, you don't have time for me, you don't have time for the relationship, you're always busy." They use such excuse to shift the focus away from the fact that they are not pulling their own weight financially or emotionally. It's all about them making her feel like her success is somehow wrong, or that he's been neglected because of her success, her career, her work. Please don't let any preacher, prophet, prophecy, mother-in-law, anyone make you fall into that trap. It's a dangerous trap to be in. And if you tend to date a broke man, it's not just about them manipulating you. Sometimes they become jealous, resentful, they become envious, they start plotting your downfall. Yeah, that happens a lot. They take it upon themselves to become a roadblock to humble you. There's a lot to think about if you're deciding to be with a broke man. Remember, there are exceptions, but those exceptions are not much in comparison to what is common out there. If you'd love to watch more videos like this, click this video to watch how men are a huge stressor to women, and I will see you all in the next one.